Hi there and welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of your semester review, and we're looking at questions 27 through 52. The first one for 27, you're just sketching the graph of the line. Since this one says x is equal to negative 5, I would find negative 5 on the x-axis, which is here, and then you're basically just going to draw a vertical line for number 27. If it was a y is equal to, that'd be a horizontal line. For 28, we're going to start with the y-intercept, which is positive 1. And then we're going to show rise over run, which is up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do the same thing by going down and starting back from your y-intercept. So that means we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then to the left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way, you've got a straight line passing through the point number 1 on the y-intercept. And you have your rise over run 3 over 4. For 29 and 30, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. First thing I look at is our negative 1, and that's going to be my y-intercept. Remember, your y is equal to mx plus b is what you're looking for, and I've just found b, which is minus 1. Now I just need to find the rise over run, and what I do here is I just find the next point that it intersects. So there's the point here that it intersects. So I'm just going to count I rise 1 and run 2. So that means my slope is 1 over 2x. So y is equal to 1 over 2x minus 1, or a half x. For number 30, I do the same thing. Here's my y-intercept at positive 3, so that's the b. And then I just find another point that intersects. I'm going to actually go down here. I still notice it's a positive slope, so I would just count my rise over run. So I'm rising 1, 2, and running 1, 2, 3. So that is 2 over 3x. So for number 30, y is equal to 2/3 x plus 3. 31, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line through the given points. First thing you want to do is find your slope. So I'm going to do 5 minus negative 5 and 0 minus negative 4. So that's actually 5 plus 5, which is 10. And 0 plus 4, which is 4. That's going to give me a rise over run of 5 over 2. And then I'm basically just going to use my slope-intercept form of y is equal to mx plus b and plug in my information. I know m is equal to 5 over 2. What I don't know is b, so what I'm going to do is take these points, 0, 5, and plug them in for x and y. I know x is 0 and y is 5. So 5 is equal to 5 halves times 0, that's 0, and then plus b would be b, so b is equal to 5. So my answer for 31, y is equal to 5 halves x plus 5. We're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to start and do negative 4 minus negative 2 over 5 minus 1. That's actually going to change it to negative 4 plus positive 2, which is negative 2 over 4. That's going to be reduced to 1/2. You do want to make sure you reduce your slope. Since that's my slope, I'm going to plug that in to where m is, and then use a x and y output to help me find b. So m is equal to negative 1/2. I'm going to use these points right here just because it looks a little bit easier. They're smaller numbers. So x is equal to 1, and y is equal to negative 2. So that means negative 2 is equal to negative 1/2 plus b. I'm going to add a half back to that. So I'm going to get negative 2 plus half. That's going to be negative 1.5 is equal to b. So I could say y is equal to my negative 1/2 x minus 1 1/2, or negative 3/2 would be the same thing. Okay? This one you're writing in point slope form. Remember, point slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m parentheses x minus x1. So I'm just plugging in x and y and the m. So I'm going to have y minus 3 is equal to 7/5 parentheses x minus 5. Pretty easy there. Do have to be careful in number 34. When I do y minus 1, I can keep that the same. And then same thing for negative 3, but when I do x minus negative 2, it actually needs to look like x plus positive 2. So my final answer would be y minus 1 is equal to negative 3 parentheses x plus 2. Okay? 35, the slope-intercept form to the equation of the line described. Both of these are parallel, and just remember parallel, they have the same slope. So since they have the same slope, you want to just make sure that this stays the same. So what I would do is just take y is equal to mx plus b and say, okay, I know my slope needs to still be 8, and then plug in my x and y. So I know x is -1, y is -4, so that's going to be -8 plus b is equal to -4. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So b is equal to 4, so that means y is equal to 8x plus 4 for number 35, and I'm going to do the same thing for number 36. Again, here's my slope. I need to keep it parallel to that, so that's the same slope. So again, using y is equal to mx plus b, I'm going to plug in my m of -1/2 and then use my x and y points here. X is 4, and then y is 1. So 1 is equal to -1/2 times 4. That's -4/2, or -2. And then when I add 2 to both sides, I get b is equal to 3. So y is equal to -1/2 x plus 3. Okay? 37 and 38 both say perpendicular. Remember, perpendicular, you want the reciprocal opposite of the slope. So if this slope is 5x, I want it to be -1/5. So I'm going to go ahead and write my y, which is 4, and then my x, which is -5, and then plus b. Kind of divide that real quick. So I will still have 4, and then -1/5 times -5. That's positive 5/5, or positive 1, plus b. So when I subtract, I get 3 is equal to b. And then once I can plug those in, I'm going to have y is equal to -1/5 x plus 3 for number 37. Same thing here. Perpendicular to 2/7 would mean I need to have my m to be 7/2. My y is -2. My x is positive 4. I don't know b yet. So -2 stays the same, but -7/2 over 2 times 4, that'd be -28 over 2, which is equal to -14. So -14 plus b, add 14 to both sides. Make sure you change that to a negative. So I almost forgot that. So b is equal to 12. So I have y is equal to -7/2x plus 12. Okay. For 39, we'll go ahead and flip our page. That's going to be a positive correlation, and 40 would be a negative. Because I do have the trend going up and going down. Remember, no correlation is like all over the place. There's no really way that you can follow it. For 41, we're going to solve each system by graphing. What you should notice is that they both have the same slope. So same slopes do not have a solution, but I'm going to show you how to do this anyways. First thing, we're going to do this one, -2 on the y-axis, and rise 1, run 1, and have all my points looking like this. I'll try to draw my straight line as best I can. And then the same thing up here, +2, start the y-intercept for the second one, and rise 1, run 1. And notice they don't intercept at all, so we're going to say no solution for number 41. Number 42, I'm going to start at -3, and rise 1, run 1. And then for this one, I have a +4, and since I can't go up 8 to the right 1, I'm going to go down 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and to the left 1, and they will intersect at this point right here. I know I messed up my first line initially, but that's -1, -4 for number 42. 43, we're going to solve each system by substitution. So what I would do first is probably solve for x on this second one, or solve for y. So I get y is equal to 4x plus 4, which means I'm going to plug it in up here. So -3x plus 6, parentheses, 4x plus 4 equals negative 18. So, let's go ahead and distribute. I'm going to have negative 3x plus 24x plus 24 equals negative 18. I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. That's 21x, and then subtract 24, which is basically adding it to 18. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry that 2. And 2 and 1 and 1 makes 4, so that's negative 42. So x is equal to negative 2. And then I'm going to take this negative 2 and just plug it back in to one of my problems. I'm actually going to plug it in right here because it's easy because y is already solved for itself. So y is equal to 4 times negative 2 plus 4, so that's negative 8 plus 4, which is equal to negative 4. So my answer is negative 2 and negative 4, or negative 2 comma negative 4. Okay, same thing for 44. It'd be easiest to go ahead and solve for my x. So I'll have x is equal to negative 2y minus 4. So I'm going to plug that into this one right here. So I'll have 5 parentheses negative 2y minus 4 plus 8y equals negative 10. So I'm going to distribute and do that. We got negative 10y minus 20 plus 8y equals negative 10. I'm going to go and combine like terms. That's negative 2y, and I'm going to add 20 to the other side. So I get negative 2y is equal to 10. So y should be equal to negative 5. And I plug that negative 5 into this one right here that I already solved for x. So x is equal to negative 2 times negative 5 minus 4. So that's 10 minus 4, which is equal to 6. So my answer would be 6 comma negative 5. My x is 6, my y is negative 5. Elimination. What I would do for 45 is I would multiply this first one by 2. So I would get 4x minus 8y is equal to negative 60. So really I'm just focusing on these two right here. That's going to give me 9x, eliminate the y's, is equal to negative 63. So that x is equal to negative 7. And then I'll plug that back in to maybe this one right here. So 4 times negative 7 minus 8y is equal to negative 60. That's going to be negative 28 minus 8y equals negative 60. Add 28 to both sides, which is just really subtracting 28 from 60. So I get negative 8y is equal to negative 32, which means y is equal to positive 4. So 45 is negative 7 comma 4. 46, it would be probably easiest to multiply my first one by 2 again. So I'm going to get 6x plus 2y is equal to negative 6. Go ahead and add these two right here. Negative 12 and positive 6 is negative 6x. Y's are eliminated, is equal to negative 6. So x is equal to a positive 1 for 46. So I'm just going to plug in this 1 right here in the one I just did. So 6 times 1 plus 2y is equal to negative 6. So 6 plus 2y is equal to negative 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. 2y is equal to negative 12. So y is equal to negative 6. So for number 46, I have 1 comma negative 6. For number 47, you're supposed to write and solve an equation. So what I did is I said x would be the senior and y would be child. So what I did is I first wrote my two equations, 12x plus 4y is equal to $224. And then it also says that the school took in 210 on the second day by selling 3 senior tickets and 12 child tickets. So that would be 3x plus 12y is equal to 210. And then what I did is I did the process of elimination. So I multiplied these by negative 4. So that's going to give me my 12x plus 4y still is equal to 224. And then negative 12x minus 48y is equal to negative 840. Just multiplied all that by 4, eliminate my x's. So So I can get negative 44y is equal to negative 616, and then when I divide both sides by negative 44, I get y is equal to 14. So I'm going to go over here and just plug this back in to my original problem here. So I would get 3x, because we're solving for x, plus 12 times 14, thank goodness for calculators, equals 210. That'd be 3x plus 168 is equal to 210. I'm going to subtract 168 from both sides. So I get 3x is equal to 42, and then x would be equal to 14. So you actually sold a senior tickets for $14 and then child tickets for $14. So just make sure you have $14 for both. For number 48, I said that your x was the small box and the y was the large. So my two equations, I have x plus 12y is equal to 179. That's going to be 1 box of small grapefruit and 12 large boxes of grapefruit. And then it also says Perry sold 5 boxes of grapefruit and 3 large ones for 97. So that's 5x plus 3y is equal to 97. And I found it easiest to do substitution here. So I subtracted 12y from both sides. So I get x is equal to negative 12y is equal plus 179. Once I got that there, then I knew I could plug this x back into this equation over here to the right. So I would have 5 parentheses negative 12y plus 179 plus 3y is equal to 97. And then I would get negative 60y plus 895 plus 3y is equal to 97. I'm going to go ahead and put together my like terms, so negative 57y, and I'm going to subtract 895 over to that 97, and I would get negative 57y is equal to negative 798, and I'm going to divide both sides by negative 57, so I get y is equal to 14. So then I'm going to take y and plug it back into here, so x is equal to negative 12 times 14 plus 179. That's negative 168 plus 179, which is equal to 11. So I'll have 11 small and 14 large. The last page, we're just graphing some linear inequalities. For the first one, we're going to find negative 2 on the y-axis first and plot that point. And then we have a rise over run of down 3 over 2. So down 1, 2, 3, and over 2, 1, 2. And then I'm also going to put another point to the left of that, so I'm going to go back to my y-intercept and just go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 2, 1, 2. This one is a less than line, so it should be dotted. And then you should be shading everything that is less than that or underneath the line. For number 50, it does not have a y-intercept, so that's just 0 where we would start. And my rise over run is down 5 and then over 1. Again, I can do that with going up 5 and to the left 1. This one is a greater than or equal to line, so it's a solid line, and I'm going to shade everything that's above it or to the right. For the last two, you're sketching both of them and then finding the overlap. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that first one, 1/3 x plus 3, that's a positive 3, and then I rise 1, run 3. Same thing, I'm going to go down 1 and to the left 3. This is a dotted line, and it is greater than, so I'm going to shade that just so. The next one though, I have negative 2 as my y-intercept, and I go down 4 and to the right 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm actually going to run off the graph here, so I'm actually going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the left 3, 1, 2, 3. This one is a dotted line as well, and still greater than. So I would be shading in everything bigger than that. but essentially it's going to overlap in this section right here. Okay, for the last one, I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to go -1 is my y-intercept, and that rise over run is down 1, run 1. So I can do a few on here actually. Okay, that one's still a dotted line that's greater than, and I'm going to shade above. The next one though, I'm going to go +3 for my y-intercept. And then I have a rise 1, run 1 again. So here are my points, and then all I'm going to do is graph those. Oops. And that's a solid line. It does say less than or equal to, so I'd be shading everything to the less than of this line. So your main overlap area is going to be in this section right here. Okay? That is going to conclude our review for today. Thank you so much for tuning in for part 2 of your semester review final, and good luck for your final.